Hi and welcome to PK and Solace. This video is about configuring overnight battery charging from your PC via the Solace Cloud website. To be able to do this, your inverter needs to be internet connected, of course, so you would have a Wi-Fi or a wired dongle, and you also need an account that's a user account. If you only have a guest and your installer has kindly only set you up as a guest, which effectively is a view-only permissions, then this won't work. And you'll need to have a quick word with your installer and suggest that they set you up as a user. You go to the Solace Cloud website, www.solacecloud.com, and you log in with the same details as you use as on the app on your phone. You need to agree to the privacy policy and remember the username and password if you wish, and log in. I have more than one device in my account, so I need to go and select the specific one we're going to configure. And then we need to go to the left-hand side and to the Device tab. You can see at the moment in the right-hand window over here that we're currently supporting the house load at 0.84 kilowatts, very roughly, from the battery. And the house is using 0.83, and a minuscule amount going to the grid. Let's go to Device. Again, because I have multiple devices on here, I need to go and select the specific inverter. Once you're on the main inverter device page, you've got an Inverter Control button up here. We'll click that. You need to accept the Solace disclaimer. Obviously have a read through that. It basically says if you make a mess of the configuration, then that's your fault. Agree and continue. And because you're configuring the inverter, you'll need to re-enter your password. And confirm. Lovely. So the battery mode, battery configuration, works on the basis that a 20 amp charge rate for 1 hour adds approximately 1 kilowatt hour of charge to your battery. So if you have a common US Pylon-Tech US 2000, for example, the usable amount of charge is 3.2 kilowatt hours. So if your battery is completely flat and you want to charge it up at night, you'll need to add 20 amps of charge for just over 3 hours. 3 and a little bit hours will give you 3.2 kilowatts. Or alternatively, you can add 40 amps of charge for just over 1.5 hours. And obviously you can scale that up. If you've got a 5 kilowatt inverter, you can safely charge up to around about 80 amps. So that would put you 4 kilowatt hours of charging in 1 hour. So if you have a typical overnight cheap rate, Octopus Go for example, where you've got midnight 30 through to 4:30, 4 hours of charge at 80 amps will add roughly 16 kilowatt hours of charge to your battery. So from here, we go to the work mode, and we go into self-use. We need to do a number of things. Firstly, we need to enable grid charging. Once you've turned this on, this can stay on. So if we click and allow grid charging. Now, I have an older dongle on this inverter. If you've got a current dongle, the value will be shown here immediately. On the older dongle, you need to send a command to the dongle and ask it to reply, in which case we need to read the value by hitting read. And then it says it will take a couple of minutes to read the value. Typically speaking, that's actually only a few seconds. So if we hit the got it button there, and then we need to refresh this page. We don't use the read button, we use the little curly arrow next to it, which is the refresh icon. So if we hit that, you can see my grid charging is currently disabled. First thing to do is drop that down, turn it on to enable, and save. And that's been sent to the inverter. We then need to enable the time of use switch. Now, if you're familiar with configuring on the inverter, this is the field at the top of the time of use page, which basically says run or stop, which probably should be enabled or disabled. So we need to enable time of use. So again, click that, and I need to read the value back from the inverter. And confirm it could take up to 2 minutes. And give us a few seconds, and again go and hit that little refresh button. Mine's currently disabled, so that would be stop. I need to change that to run, hit enable. Now this is the field that you would turn on or off if you don't want to charge tonight. You don't need to remove all the times and clear the screen or anything like that. You pop into time of use, and change enable to disable, and that will just not use your timer tonight, or turn it on alternatively, of course. And we'll save that. And then we need to put some charge times and currents in place. So we have 3 fields, charge and discharge 1 to 3. So we hit this icon. And again, I need to go and read the details back from the inverter. So let's submit the command. Now I know this one takes slightly longer, so I'm going to talk inanely about time of use tariffs for a moment and all those good things. You might have an economy 7 tariff, gives you 7 hours a night of cheaper rate. You might have a Octopus Go tariff, the EV tariff, which gives you 4 hours a night. Now we go and read some details back. And you can see my time of use charge current is 0. So I'm going to charge at no amps. So what I'm going to do is put 2 kilowatts charge rate in place. So bearing in mind that 20 amps is 1 kilowatt, we need to put 40 amps in there, 2 kilowatts. Then we've got these slightly annoying charging time slots. So our first charging time slot is here. It's currently 21:15 on my PC. So what I'm going to do is attempt to do this for real, so you can actually see it on the video. So we're going to set 21, let's set it to 21:18 as a start time. And the end time doesn't really matter for the moment, we just need it to be later. So let's just make it 10 o'clock. And OK that. I was using the arrow keys there. Unfortunately, you can't type the numbers in, which is a little bit annoying. Hopefully they'll improve that in the time. So if we save this, this is going to send that details to the inverter. So we're going to charge at 40 amps, 2 kilowatts from 21:18 through to 10 o'clock. Normally speaking, of course, that would be something like midnight to 4 AM or whatever your cheap charge rates are. Check with your provider what the cheap charge rates are. And it's always worth setting it a minute after and a minute before it ends, just to make sure it doesn't overrun in case the clock slips a little bit. And worth checking your inverter clock is set correctly, of course. So we'll save those details. If we jump to the inverter now, and you're familiar with the standard inverter screen, then if we go down to the time of use screens, enter down, 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 advanced settings, down, down, up. The password is just the number 10. Down, 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 down to storage energy set, into storage mode select, into self-use. You can see that that's on, into time of use, and you can see those settings we've just pushed from the PC are showing live on the inverter now. We've got a charge current of 40 amps up there, 2 kilowatts. We've got a start time of 21:18. We've got a finish time of 10 PM, which just gives us a charging duration of 42 minutes, just a test window, of course. So you can see the top right corner, the time is currently 21:17. So if we skate back out of that, and escape, and escape, and escape some more, right back to the main screen. So currently, if you look at that, my house is consuming 0.61 kilowatts of power. That's taking 0.75 kilowatts from the battery. The gap between those two figures is this screen. Obviously, the screen needs to run with something. The inverter control gear, the inverter processor, etc. All those devices need a little bit of power. So we've got, what, 150 watts or there or thereabouts showing on the screen as difference between the battery and the inverter. Jumping around a little bit because the wife's in the house doing whatever she's doing. And you can see that the time has just jumped to 21:18. And off we go. We are charging at 2 kilowatts. That will sit there till 10 o'clock, of course, and then that'll just stop. So if you have a quick sum of the figures again, we've got 2.94 kilowatts, 0.66 going to the house, and 2 kilowatts going directly to the battery. I hope this helped. I hope you liked the video. If you've got any questions, feel free to pop them on the bottom. A thumbs up would absolutely wonderful. If you'd like my page, then please feel to subscribe to the page. And of course, if you're considering an overnight tariff, Octopus, then my referral code is in the link below. If you use my referral code and sign up for Octopus and change from your current provider, then I get £50, you get £50, and that helps run the video page. Thanks for watching. Cheers.